Thank you all for joining us today on Valentine's Day. This great holiday of chocolates and flowers. And this time that you took this opportunity to join us rather than going out for dinner. But you can go out for dinner afterwards if you want to. We have an interesting passage today to go along with this Valentine's Day. It wasn't designed for Valentine's Day by any means, but it still fits. Because Valentine's Day ultimately comes back to love and caring. So, turn with me, if you will, to Isaiah chapter 61. Isaiah chapter 61, verse 10. I delight greatly in the Lord. My soul rejoices in my God, for he has clothed me with garments of salvation, arrayed me in a robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom adorns his head like a priest, and as a bride adorns himself with her jewels. For as the soil makes the sprout come up, and a garden causes seeds to grow, so the sovereign Lord will make righteousness and praise spring up before all nations. Here we have this passage from Isaiah. And the thing about Isaiah, if you just jump right into it, right in the middle like that, it's kind of hard to know what's going on. To know what's been happening. God is talking about how the people of Israel are going to be delivered. The book of Isaiah is prophecy. Prophecy of what is going to come, what is going to happen. And at this point, in verses 10 and 11, we may think that this is Israel who is speaking. This is the people of Israel who are speaking. But actually, verses 10 and 11, it's Artaxerxes, the Persian king. The Persian king talking about how great the Lord is and God using him to deliver Israel. Talking about the love that he has. And the key part in there is that righteousness and praise spring up before all nations. The idea that the grace of God was for the whole world came a lot before Jesus. It's just fulfilled in Jesus. In this Epiphany time, we look back at that idea. That God, it's nothing new for God to want to be there for all peoples, for the whole nations, for the whole world. And just like in a little area some people mess up, in the whole world a lot of people mess up too. But there are those who seek God and seek his favor. And in this case, it's Artaxerxes, king of the Persians, who after the exile of 70 years sent the people back. Out of exile and back into the promised land. And he has such imagery coming in here, talking about love today. He sees it as a marriage. He sees it as a marriage between him and God. Seeing that imagery and knowing that this is the love that is above all others. Now we know that on this Valentine's Day that we could never hope to attain to the love that God has for us, for our spouses, and for our children, and for our parents. But it's an example, and we can try to love with that, as it is said in the Greek, agape love. That sacrificing love, that love that is given to one another, the love that comes from God, that God-like love, rather than the other two love words in Greek are phileo, that's familial love, caring for one another, and eros, the consuming desire, the desire to obtain. But this is talking about this love that God is presenting for us, that God has, that Artaxerxes is talking about here, is that agape. That caring love for all nations. And here it says, I delight greatly in the Lord, my soul rejoices in God, for he has clothed me with garments of salvation. He has saved me. He gives me that grace that he saves me, and arrayed me in a robe of righteousness. See, the thing that prevents us from being able to stand before God is our sin nature. It's our fallenness. Because God cannot stand sin in his presence. the grace for us is that what gives us that robe of righteousness is that bridegroom who is Jesus Christ. That bridegroom, the one who gives us that cloak of righteousness is because he dies on the cross. Because of his blood, we are white as snow. We have this white as snow robe that we're able to put over ourselves and to be redeemed. To be able to have that robe, literally wearing that robe of righteousness, that of Jesus Christ over us. He has clothed me with salvation, that I have hope for my sin nature, and has arrayed me with the robe of righteousness to overcome that sin nature. It's kind of, in the same imagery, in similar imagery, it's kind of like taking off the sin nature, like if you go to the Voyage of the Dawn Treader from C.S. Lewis, trying to scrape that off ourselves is just very painful. Eustace becomes a dragon and wants to get rid of those dragon scales. And so he's scraping and scraping and scraping and scraping, and nothing's happening. Aslan comes and digs deeper than Eustace ever could. It hurts. But he's able to take off that cloak of a dragon and be clothed in the robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom adorns his head like a priest, and a bride adorns herself with his jewels, whereas the soil makes the sprout come up and garden causes seeds to grow, so the sovereign Lord will make righteousness and praise spring up before the nations. This righteousness, this opportunity, this robe of righteousness, not just for the people of Israel, not just for Persia, but for the whole world. An amazing thing for a king to talk about.